Our top story, Syrian President Ahmed al-Sharaa told the Russian President Vladimir Putin today at a meeting in Moscow that Syria will respect all past agreements. This in his first visit to Moscow since rebels led by Sharaa toppled Russia's ally, President Bashar al-Assad, last year. Al-Sharaa is also formally requesting the handover of Bashar al-Assad so that he might be extradited to Syria. He fled to Moscow in the aftermath of his ouster.
Dear Mr. President, dear colleagues, we are very pleased to welcome you to Moscow. Our countries have developed a special relationship over many decades. We've maintained diplomatic ties for over 80 years, and they were established during the most difficult times for Russia and the Soviet Union in 1944. During this time, relations between Syria and Russia have always been exceptionally friendly.
We are linked by a number of things, including a part of Syrian food which comes from Russia, as well as our energy which relies on Russian expertise. We also have strategic relationships both regionally and internationally. We respect our common history and will uphold our previously signed agreements. We are trying to redefine our relationship with Russia, emphasizing the independence and sovereignty of Syria, our territorial integrity, and our national security that is connected to international security.
Well, for more on this story, I'm joined in the studio by our international affairs editor, Philip Turle. Hi, Philip.
Hello, Angela.
Hi. Talk then about redefining their ties between Moscow and Syria. What do they mean by that, redefining?
Well, things have been pretty difficult, I think, between the two countries since the overthrow of Bashar al-Assad. A lot of concern on both sides about where this relationship stood. Remember that Russia was a supporter of Bashar al-Assad all the way through the Syrian civil war. He propped him up, and that would allow the former Syrian president to remain in power. It didn't really intervene during the last part of the Syrian civil war when Ahmed al-Sharaa took over. But Ahmed al-Sharaa was part of the Islamist group Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, which is called HTS in short, which was bombed quite frequently by the Russians. So I think there was a lot of suspicion about where Russia lies in all of this. But both sides really do need each other. And that is why they're putting on this new, it's a bit like a love-in, I suppose you could almost call it, between these two leaders in Moscow today, because they both need each other. Russia needs Syria because it wants to maintain two bases there, one air base and one land base, sea base on the western coast of Syria, which would give Russia and continue to give Russia access to the Mediterranean, and also be able to be used as a way of transporting goods to Africa from there. So Russia really does want to maintain those two bases. It appears that Syria has given the green light for that. And on the Syrian side, what they really want is to obtain Russian oil. They need Russian oil to be able to keep the economy going, and have even said that they want Russia not to pledge to rearm remnants of the former regime of Bashar al-Assad. So a lot of suspicion also there. But I think both leaders meeting here, trying to put a new show of a relationship together. But I think they both have behind-the-scenes needs that they want to obtain from each other.
And what about then the former president, Bashar al-Assad, who, of course, is in Russia? He fled there. They've acknowledged he is there. And the Syrians want him extradited to Syria. Is that going to happen?
Yeah, that's, I think, a bit of a problematic issue. The Russians have been saying that they don't particularly want to hand him over. That's the view coming out from Moscow. But the Syrian authorities have been saying, and even on himself directly, the President Ahmed al-Sharaa on CBS News show 60 Minutes, saying that he was going to use all available legal means, that's a quotation, to demand that Assad is put on trial. I think certainly there is a big desire in Syria to see Bashar al-Assad brought back to the country and to face trial for war crimes and being behind this war in the country for so many years. It depends whether or not the Russians are going to play ball with this, but there certainly is pressure from the Syrians, and maybe the Syrians could even put pressure on the Russians to do this by saying, well, the future of your bases here could depend on that. So that there is a certain amount of wriggle room on both sides to attain what the two sides would like.